Chapter 46. Tamia, African American, age 16, December 20th, 2025. I met Tamia at a warm and cozy women's ugly sweater event during the holidays. The room was bright with decorations and laughter. Women were engaged in small talk throughout the space. Tamia stood out to me because she was one of a few young people at the event. She was there with her mother. Before the official gathering began, I asked if she'd mind talking with me for a few minutes. She agreed. She's 16, born and raised in Jacksonville. When the conversation turned to school, she answered without hesitation. I'm doing good in school. I wanted to know how she pictured her life after graduation. I want to go to college to be an engineer. First, I wanted to be a nurse, but then I realized I didn't have passion there. Then I wanted to be a pilot, but engineering just spoke to me. I want to create different things like technology. I like being creative when I have a certain mission. Regardless of the major she eventually pursues, I was struck by how clearly she articulated her strengths and what made her heart sing. Tamia is just as intentional about her friend group. When we talked about school relationships, she shared that she prefers a small circle. I only have a few friends because people at my school are not very nice to each other. I try to keep the nicest and smallest circle. A bigger circle creates more drama. Curious to know what people might not expect about her, I invited her to share something surprising. She told me she loves Pierce the Veil, an intense, emotional rock band. Their music is so good, it just reaches to me. It's energetic at times, but it's very calming. It's kind of like inspiring you to keep going. I listened to a song. I understood exactly what she meant. Living in the world as a 16-year-old, she admitted, can be heavy, especially with school and trying to figure out what you want to do with your life. You're almost an adult. There's pressure. Everyone around you is asking what you want to do. You may not even know, so you have to figure it out really kind of fast. Drawing from my years as a college academic advisor, I shared that even in college, students often have time to figure things out. I told her I changed my major a couple of times myself. She sees peer pressure playing out across her generation. My generation feels pressure about fitting in rather than doing what they'd rather do. She's learning how to navigate that. Sometimes I feel it, but then I realize it's not about what they want. At the end of the day, I may not know them in 2 or 3 years, so it wouldn't matter if it pleases them or impresses them. I need to do what I like. I was struck by her maturity. When the conversation shifted toward the state of the world, Tamia said, at the end of the day, we're all human. We have more in common than we have differences. Still, she named what weighs on her most. Complete division, like how the world is kind of divided now. Imagine more. That just seems horrible to me. She tries not to let those thoughts consume her. I try to enjoy what I'm around currently. I was curious whether life had already taught her any lessons she felt comfortable sharing. She didn't hesitate. In order to grow, sometimes you have to let go. She told me about a friend group in 8th grade that became toxic and how painful it was to walk away. I loved them a lot, and I still have love for them to this day, but I had to let go in order to have some peace. And finally, I asked her to imagine her life 10 years from now. I see myself chasing my dream with a supportive husband, no kids. I see a supportive husband who's also chasing his dream, so we're kind of chasing our dreams together. What rose to the top for me after speaking to Tamia was hope. She was intentional, wise, and well-spoken in the most authentic way. I pushed aside the lingering regret I often feel for the world we've created for our youth, the one that made division her greatest fear, and leaned into the hope she gave me instead. With enough young people like Tamia, things could turn around. I was certain of that. I found myself smiling as we rejoined the other women. This is truth, and truth always rises.